just had some real crazy excitement. If you look out here, it's a big fire spot. All up here, these cobwebs are all black with smoke and soot. This thing, I was testing the injector, and it sprays fine. It backfired out the intake, caught all right here on fire. My neighbor was here helping me with a 5-gallon bucket, which is right there. That 5-gallon bucket was full of fuel coming out from the injector, caught that on fire. He threw that, got all over this. It burnt my leg, got all over there. Used that blanket right there to put it out. Thankfully, I don't think there's any major damage. There was smoke everywhere. I got a fan blowing in here to try to get it less smoky. But I think I'm going to quit working on it for the day. I think if I do anything, I'm just going to take some of these plastics off. But so far, we got a backfire out of the intake, which I've read could mean it's out of time. It's a lean, which again could be meaning it's out of time. So the Woodruff key could be sheared off, which made it jump time. It looks like there's a whole bunch of things it could be. So I think my next step is to pull all these plastic pieces off and start there basically, and move forward from there. Just check everything else. I'll just update you guys on what I find, if I find anything else. Quick update. I took all the plastics off of the rig. I've taken the valve cover off and checked the timing. It is in time, but, and I'll try to show a video of this tomorrow because it's late right now. The clearance, I was checking clearance for the intake and exhaust. The exhaust is within spec, but the intake clearance for this is 0.150 millimeters plus or minus 0.05. So it can go all the way up to 0.2 and all the way down to 0.1, basically. The valves are so tight and the clearance on the cam is so tight on this that it won't even fit a 0.03, and that's the lowest my feeler gauge goes. I'm gonna order some tappets for this, and hopefully that will solve this issue of it not starting. And I also want to rewash it. I washed it already, but I didn't wash it with all this stuff off of here, and it looks pretty crummy. So I'm going to try to get this all cleaned up, everything cleaned up in here, get it all clean and washed. I said clean like 6 times. Put everything back together. It doesn't have an air intake cover. I need to get one. The kid that I bought it from, it does have one, but he just has not, he forgot to bring it, I guess. So it would be awesome if I could get that, or I may just order a new one. Or I did see these cool intakes that house the battery up here too, which would be awesome to get it off of down there. But that's another story down the line, if I can get this thing running. So if I can get this thing running for $800 and these tappets fixes it, that would be phenomenal. It would save, I mean, the tappets aren't very expensive, so I'll get them in a little calculator that I found. I actually followed a guy. I'll try to link his channel. I can't remember. I think it's called 3-Day Weekend. I followed a video that he did. It's for the same exact motor, but was for a Sportsman or a Polaris Ace 570. So hopefully that's what it is. If it's not, then we'll go from there. I have to start cracking the motor open. I'll probably remove the motor from the actual four-wheeler. It looks like it's going to be a pain in the ass to do, but got to get it done somehow. So we'll go from there. Afterward, I've said it like 4 times, but see you guys tomorrow. Okay, right off the bat, I just want to say some of these clips are going to be kind of jumpy. I've gotten really excited with this thing, and I've not recorded a lot of stuff, so I'm basically just going to be trying to cut in some of the things that have happened and that I've done and work with, you know, what I have filmed-wise. But I'll give you basically a breakdown right now of what's happened and what I've done. So as of right now, I'm waiting on parts for the valve lash, it was too tight. I'm waiting on tappets for the cam, underneath the cam on the intake side. I believe that's why it was backfiring at the intake, which is one of the reasons why it caught on fire. The parts should have been here today. Today is Monday, but hopefully they'll be here tomorrow so I can get them in, and at that point I'll bring you guys in tomorrow. I'm going to try to piece together all the videos and clips that I have of what I've done. I've actually painted, for some reason, I don't know why, I was just bored, but I painted these top pieces right here, and I've actually redone the seat. I may make that a separate video, but I have redone the seat, and I painted right here because it was rusting. I just hit some primer and some gloss paint, and then I painted this piece over here as well. We're waiting on these tappets to come. Hopefully they come tomorrow. See if the valve lash makes clearance, if it's within spec. I think right here I'll show you guys what I've done to calculate what I needed. This is the valve lash measuring value thing, the clearance calculator. So if you look here where it says use the drop down menu to select the valve lash specification listed in your service manual. For the intake, it's 0.150, so we're going to go click that. The measured value of our lash was literally 0. I couldn't get anything in there. So the next one is going to be the valve tappet that was there, and it was a recorded 495. So then you hit calculate, and it says we're going to need a 480. Well, I went to the store and the Polaris shop and had one. The closest number they had was a 478. So we went and got that 478, installed it. Well, the 478, the only shim that we could get underneath, the only feeler gauge that we could get underneath there was a .063. So it basically didn't fit. It would not fit in there. And then now that number is a 478 because that was the only one they had. So when we calculate that number, the new number is a 469. So that's probably more accurate to what we needed to begin with. But because the entered value valve lash measurement would probably have been a negative number because there was so much pressure on it, they don't make a 469. So I ordered a 470 and it will be here next week. So unfortunately we have to wait a week or so to get it, because right now it's Thursday and we probably won't get it until Tuesday or Wednesday. And Polaris, they were the same scenario. They didn't have anything, so I would have had to wait to get it to Polaris. It is early in the morning for me, and I got the 2 tappets in, the 470s. Gonna get these things in. Hopefully it solves the issue and I have decent clearance. Okay, so I've already taken a lot of this stuff off, so I don't have to mess with anything. All I have to do is pull this off, but I need to undo the cam chain tensioner because it's causing pressure right here, and I need to turn the motor and try to make sure it's top dead center, which basically is now, and take this rubber gasket off, and these are all unscrewed, so technically all I got to do is loosen this cam chain tensioner underneath here and it will work. But I got to take these off to be able to have access to it. So I'm going to do that and then I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so the camshaft is off because I took the tensioner off. I had to take the intake off. I just lifted this. Once the tensioner is off, this chain just comes right off the camshaft. And I don't have the old tappets on, but here are the new ones. So I'm going to put these on, get everything back together, and check for clearance. And I'll bring you back to when I start checking for the clearance. This is all pretty simple to do. Now everything's back together. This is off. I made the mistake of not turning the machine to top dead center. So I turned it to top dead center down here. There's a little keyhole above the water pump area, the stator and stuff, I think is where it's at. Flywheel, I don't know, whatever's over here. and on this side there's a little hole with an arrow, and you line that up, and everything's tightened down. I didn't tighten it to spec. I actually need to look it up and see what the what this valve thing is, the torque spec. But here is the shim, the feeler gauge. It's a 152. I think clearance is 1.5. It will not fit, but we knew it was going to be tight because they don't make a 469, and at least supposedly the Polaris guy told me they don't. So I ordered a 470, and that's what this is. So it's going to be a little bit tighter. So it still should fit whatever this next size I got is. Let's see. I have a 127. So that's still within spec, and it fits. This side don't, though. It starts to, but then it don't. Let's see. Closest I have after that is a 102. Well, that fits easy. So this side probably needed a smaller one, unfortunately. But we're going to try this. I'm going to put everything back together. I'm going to put the valve cover on, the intake back on, and I think mainly, I'm not going to put all this other stuff back together, not all the plastics, in case I have to take it off again. I'm just going to put the fuel back in, and I'm just going to try to turn it over, get this stuff up here going. Just try to turn it over to get it going, because I have to know if this is going to work before I order anything else. So I'll bring you guys back when we do that. It may be later today because I'm kind of busy today, so I'll get after it when I can. Okay, I've kind of gotten, nothing's attached. I just added some fuel, added all the lines back. I couldn't wait. I'm just going to see if it'll start. So, brake needs to be on. Battery's not connected. Hold on. Okay, let's see. I don't know if that's just the air intake making. Uh-oh, I forgot to tighten the cam chain tensioner and most of the oil poured out. So I don't have the correct oil for it, but just for sake of trying to get this thing running, I'm going to just throw some T4 in there because it's what I got. And I'm obviously going to be changing all the fluids when I get a chance. But I just want to hear this motor run for a minute. It almost sounds like almost like it's knocking or there's a tick. So I'm going to add some oil, and then I think I'm going to add the air filter and make sure it's not just the air sucking through. Okay, let's attempt this again. Okay, so it runs. Not sure if that's how it's supposed to sound. It's smoking a little because oil poured out everywhere. It's making an intake sound that I don't normally know if it sounds like that because this lid is off and I don't have the lid. So I'm not 100% sure on that. The exhaust, it smokes a little, but I don't know how long it's not been started. It could have been months since this kid sunk this thing. So I don't know if I should keep running it or what. But I think for now I'm just going to be done until later this afternoon because we got to go to town and I don't have a lot of time left to mess with it. Okay, so I didn't really know how to make an outro video for this because the clips were all kind of messed up and jumbled together, but the foiler is running. It has small smoking issue. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. I haven't figured it out. I've put everything back together. I've went on about a 20 miles so far I probably put on it, just putting around the house and around my little cul-de-sac here. And then me and my buddy Trent went on a ride yesterday to the mountain. It's probably like a 5 to 6 mile one way there and one way back. And it did okay, but it did smoke some. And I kept thinking there was some noises, but I think it's just all because the airbox lid is not on. Hopefully I can get this airbox lid soon, but it's still running. It seems to be working good. I cleaned it up decent the other day, but now it's muddy again, so it doesn't look the best. Thank you guys for watching. I have some small things I'm doing to the four-wheeler. Stay tuned for a video, probably like a bunch of little things that I've done. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you stick around if you like this kind of content. Let me know down below what you think. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, that's it. Like, subscribe. Have a good day.